Hey, what's going on, people? It's SGZ here from the Spartan Game Zone, and in this video I'll be going over the latest announcements that were announced yesterday on the Borderlands show around 24 hours ago, almost to the second. I'll be covering every important announcement, which included new details about Mayhem 2.0 and also some explanation about what's going to be going on in the Revenge of the Cartels event, which is the next big seasonal event that lasts for quite some time and arrives in April. So let's crack in and get to all these announcements. The biggest thing to come out of the announcements yesterday was a level cap increase, which increases the total level we can achieve from 53 to 57. Like the other one, it's not very big, it's only 4 levels, but it does allow us to reach 2 capstones, which I guess they were avoiding in the first instance. It looks like this will remain a trend for the lifetime of the game now, where we get a number of small level increases rather than a couple of big ones. Now, it wasn't a long time ago when we got our first level increase. It was only 6 weeks ago, which isn't that long, and if we keep getting small increases every 6 weeks, it's going to make some people think that they might not bother farming until the next one, or maybe even stop playing the game altogether, and I can understand that. I don't know what made Gearbox change the way they do level cap increases, but I guess it's here to stay and we're just gonna have to live with it. It's not all bad though, your guns still will be good enough, but when it comes to Mayhem 2.0, which I'll get to in a second, you're gonna want the best gun, so everyone probably is gonna have to go and get their favorite weapons at level 57. Which can be frustrating for some and it can be fun for others, so it's a little bit of a balancing act there. Now, I should point out that this level cap is free like the last one, and they are striving to keep it that way. Moving on now to the Shakedown event, which is live right now. It adds increased drop rates for the bosses inside the Maliwan takedown, hence the name Takedown Shakedown. All bosses in the takedown will have boosted drop chances for items in their dedicated loot pools. So this includes stuff like the Redistributor or Kybe's Worth, and it ends on April 2nd at 8:59 AM Pacific time, and it coincides nicely with the level cap increase, so we can get those guns at level 57 a lot easier than we otherwise would. Now, Mayhem 2.0 is probably the biggest thing on everyone's radar outside of a couple of things like extra skill trees, which I'm still waiting to hear any word on, but Mayhem 2.0 is where it's at, and we got some word on how that'll function. By the sounds of it, Mayhem 2.0 is going to function a lot like OP levels did in Borderlands 2. If you're not aware of how OP levels worked in Borderlands 2, basically you had an area that you had to fight through. Once you made it all the way through that area and defeated the final boss, you were granted access to the next OP level. Weapons and items that were dropped in each OP level were stronger than the level beforehand, and that sounds like pretty much how Mayhem 2.0 will function. It doesn't look like there'll be an area that we need to fight through to gain access to the next level, but rather the weapon and item scaling would stay the same. So for example, if I defeated someone in Mayhem 4, I would get better loot than if I defeated the same person in Mayhem 3. By better loot, I just mean with better stats, so the guns and stuff will be the same, although I have seen mentioned that they will have exclusive weapons thrown in there when Mayhem 2.0 arrives. So the idea is for each Mayhem level to prepare you for the next. You might not be able to get through Mayhem 5 initially unless you get some gear in Mayhem 4, and that's probably how it's going to progress. With its arrival, they will introduce the ability to change Mayhem levels through the Echo menu, so that's a lot better than traveling to Sanctuary. As for me, it takes about 40 seconds because I got an OG console, but yeah, that's going to be a lot better for everyone. There'll be 10 Mayhem levels to fight through with 25 modifiers, and they haven't really said anything about any extra modifiers than the ones that were announced at PAX East. Those included the Floor is Lava and Big Head mode, so it's going to be interesting how the other 23 look. I expect them to be kind of the same as some that we already have, and I'm hoping they don't get too crazy, because when it does get too crazy, the modifiers have a chance to suck the fun out of the game, and I hope that doesn't happen. Mayhem 2.0 is scheduled to launch alongside Revenge of the Cartels, which comes out in April, and as mentioned in the intro, it's the big event, the next seasonal event that will last for 6 weeks, and it affects the entire galaxy of Borderlands 3. So the story behind it is that our pal Maurice, that legend of a dinosaur, is in trouble. He's in trouble with someone called Joey Ultraviolet, and Joey Ultraviolet is of course a cartel member, and he's trying to collect some debts off him. So we need to help Maurice by wiping his slate clean and taking care of things. There'll be thugs hiding out across the solar system, and that includes areas in the DLC. When you arrive, similar to the Halloween event which had ghosty looking people and the Valentine event which had love hearts everywhere, the cartel members will be distinguishable by their neon attire, as you can see here, and when you kill enough of them, you will be able to travel to the mansion, which is where the cartels hang out. This mansion is accessed like the heck hole through Maurice's special device, and you won't know what gang currently reigns over the cartel until you get there. You will never fight the same gang twice, and each gang has some unique loot drops and anointed parts, so it looks like it's going to be highly replayable, which is always a good thing. So that about wraps it up. That's all your Borderlands 3 news for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider dropping a like or subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one.